What's up, TechHeart rock stars? How do you enjoy retro computer systems? Do you hunt Facebook and offer up until you come along with that holy grail Commodore 128 complete setup? Do you hope on the heavens that your Apple II CRT monitor makes it through eBay shipping? Right. Well, don't forget about emulation, because there's a retro computer community churning out great projects that'll get you experiencing the yesteryears without the cost, nightmares, or repairs. Let's talk about a recurring project that just dropped for the 4th installment in late January 2024. PiMiga 4, baby! PiMiga is a tribute to what the Commodore Amiga might have become. It runs on Debian Linux, uses Amiberry as its Amiga 68000 processor. It runs Scale OS, a modern workbench replacement. PiMiga 4 comes jam-packed with Amiga games, demascene content, softwares, and even internet applications. It's a mega collection of Amiga goodness that'll turn you on to everything the Amiga platform had to offer, and then some. So let's take a trip as we download, install, set up, and play with PiMiga 4. The perfect way to experience the Amiga ecosystem with almost any hardware you've got hanging around. Let's go! Let's talk about it. What will we need to get PiMiga 4 running? You'll need an SD card if you're going to be inserting it into a Raspberry Pi, or you'll need a USB stick if you want to use an Intel-based machine or some other machine rather than a Raspberry Pi. Or you can even use an NVMe drive. I have mine mounted in a USB-C 3 case. So I'm going to be using this SSD. And the aforementioned Raspberry Pi 4 you can absolutely use, but PiMiga 4 this year is new in that you can run it on x86 systems, whether they're Intel, AMD, or even ARM. I'm going to be using a ThinkPad. You could even use something like an old Intel Mac Mini. Historically, PiMiga 4 has always been for the Raspberry Pi 4, but this year you can use any Intel, AMD, or ARM device. I'm going to be using my ThinkPad, but listen, you can pop this sucker on anything you got laying around. So, let's talk about how we get PiMiga 4 going. First things first, you can find it in the comments below or on Chris Edwards' PiMiga 4 video. We need PiMiga4.torrent. And then you're going to use a software like QBitTorrent that I have right here. And you're going to download that PiMiga4.torrent. And you'll get PiMiga4.7z for a 7-zip file. Once you have that 7-zip file, which I just have in another subdirectory here, you will have a 37 gigabyte PiMiga4.7zip. And you can just do 7zx, or if you're not using the command line, you can use any archiving software on your computer. So you just run 7zx on that PiMiga4.7z. After that completes, you can now do an ls, and you'll see that you also have a PiMiga4.image file. It's 100 gigabytes. However, in all actuality, it's about 50 gigabytes. And you now have a PiMiga-readme.txt. If you look at that PiMiga readme file, it will tell you everything about installing this software. It has instructions down below for both Raspberry Pi series, right here on line 45, or Intel on line 85. Inside of this file, it tells you that you'll have to have the Amiga kickstarts, the Amiga kick ROMs. I have one of those. I think I have it in another folder called 3. I need to copy it here. Now let's do an ls. So here I have everything that I'll need to install PiMiga 4. The PiMiga4.image is the main system. Amiga-OS-310-A1200.ROM is the ROM file. However, we have to copy that to a file just simply named kick.rom. And that's going to be our Amiga 3.10 Workbench Kickstart. So now you'll get your USB stick or your SD card or whatever you're using, and you can pull up a software like Balena Etcher. You'll select Flash from File. You'll go find that file in wherever you have it. You'll select PiMiga4.image, then you'll select a target. Now my disk is not plugged in right now, but just make sure you select your USB stick here and then click flash. And that will flash PiMiga4.image to whatever you were burning it to. I've already done that. So PiMiga4.image is on this drive. Now, after it's done, we will plug it into your USB drive. Like so. And you'll let it open. You'll notice it opens about 4 partitions. So I have one here, 17 gigabytes. I have one here, 134 megabytes, another 17 gigabytes, and a 93 gigabytes. We can close the 93 one down, and we will start with the 134 megabyte partition. Look inside the folder named Kick, and it will be empty, and you'll want to copy that file that you created from your Kickstart, kick.rom, into the 134 megabyte volume Kick folder. So drop kick.rom inside there. And now I noticed with the Intel side, it's a little tricky. There's two 19 gigabyte partitions. Oops, let me see here. There we go. Well, two 17 gigabytes. Look inside of boot and then boot/kick. Copy kick.rom into there, the 17 gigabyte volume /boot/kick folder directory. Drop that right here. And the reason I mentioned the other partition is if you click boot here, you'll notice there is no Kick directory in that second 17 gigabyte partition. So that's why I kept all 3 up. You have to copy kick.rom into the 134 megabit volume in a folder named Kick, and in one of the 17 gigabyte volume folders, /boot/kick. One boot will have nothing, the other one will have a Kick subdirectory. So I've copied kick.rom into 2 locations, and look at that. We're about ready to rock and roll and boot into PiMiga 4. Now I'm gonna do a screen capture, and I'm gonna meet you guys on the other side when we boot into PiMiga 4 for the first time. Let's go! All right, on my ThinkPad boot screen, I'll go into BIOS, I'll press F12 to select my boot device, and I'll select that USB SSD drive. You can see it's Debian underneath. And here we go, PiMiga 4, baby. All right, we're booted into PiMiga 4. Now, the first time we run this, we need to expand our USB stick, our hard drive, or SD card. This is emulation. So even though we're on that SCAL-OS, which is like your Amiga desktop, I can press F12 and that brings up Amiberry. Let's go over here and we'll click on Quit. That's gonna take us out to the Debian underlying OS. And from here, I can open up a terminal. And from here, I'll make my terminal bigger for you. And we can just run sudo gparted. The password, if it asked you for it, is just PiMiga, and it'll open up gparted. Now, you have to be very careful. Depending on the hard drive you're using, right here, this says 930 gigabytes. So that's the drive that's installed in inside of this laptop. I would want to select DevSDB, which is the 119 gigabyte drive. Now, I've already done this. However, the biggest partition here, there was unused space on the end of it. You can kind of see where this yellow drops off. On my very first boot, from here to the right was unused space. So all you do is you right click and then you go to resize move. And now this is already dragged all the way over to the right. But as I stated, it was, over here. And you just want to grab this toolbar and pull it all the way over to the right so there's no free space proceeding, and then click on resize, and then you click this green check mark. Now I've already done that, so I don't need to, but I wanted to show you guys that part. In the PiMiga_readme.txt file, which you will have found in the PiMiga 4.7 zip file, it tells you all this information. But I just wanted to go over it. Now we can reboot to get back into PiMiga 4. So we can just come over here and log out and we'll restart. Lots of different graphics pop up. So on here you have everything that your Amiga system would have. You have your RAM disk. You have that PiMiga README right here. You have demos here. And this shows all the demos that are populated on the drive. But there's other ways to get to it. So you have demos here and you have games here. And these show demos and games that are installed right to the partition or the main partition. Then you have work, it's like other applications and stuff, books, stuff, graphics, videos. Let's check out a video or two. The Amiga song. This is pretty lame, but Chris, the developer, must have liked it, so let's take a peek. Now this popped up big for me before. There we go. So what you'll notice is, since this is emulation, it can do a lot more than, you know, an Amiga A1200 can do. There's full video for you. But it can also run all of the classic, both Workbench 1 and Workbook 3 softwares. You can load AGP stuff right within it. So I don't know how the menus work. I forget which buttons do which. One of them cycles it back through. Yeah, there it is. It's that far right button to bring it forward or back. So that's the stuff on the drives. There's a lot of other cool stuff down there on the taskbar. Let's go down and check that out. I'm going to close some of this stuff real quick. Bing, bing, bing. If we come down here, you'll see iGame and iDemo. I'm going to open up iGame. This is like thousands of Amiga games all set up, ready to roll. There's even a way to play online with other Amiga users. I don't know if I'll get to that tonight, but there's a way to do that. You can play these games online with other users that may be available for play. And within this iGame or iDemo, there's thousands and thousands, and we'll take a look at some of that. First things first, let's dive into some of the best demos that there are. So I'm going to open up the main demos folder. We'll go over here to Fulgore's Top 200. And let's look at 1 to 25. This is the top demos. So let's just try Starstruck. It says it's number 1. And we'll do the Starstruck final version. And we'll just select that exe file. And let's rock and roll, baby. Click OK. And that was Starstruck. Enjoy this. I'm going to go through a couple more of the top rated ones. Software makes the dance fam. S.exe. Sexy. Wow, that was killer, dude. All right, so that's just the top 25. You also have all other groups that are on the hard drive. I think in the Amiga folder here too, you have 40K, 4K, 64K, Cracktros, Introz, just like in all demascene. But the collection here, my point being, is vast. You have music discs, just a full coverage of the Amiga demo scene. It's vast and it's a lot with PiMiga 4. There are some big name games installed on the partition. You have Doom, Rise of the Triad, Zodes, Turrican 2, Blockout. There's a Tetris down here, a Duke Nukem 3D, Quake 2. Let's try to boot up Quake and just see. There we go. Boom. There we go. Yeah, right on. So you got all the big title games here. I can't go through here, I don't think. It's been a minute since I played any Quake. I do play a lot of Doom, though. Is that a button over there? So you can get your Quake on right here. Where you at, boy? What, did I not have any more shots? Alright, we're gonna quit out of there. That was Quake. Can try Time Gal or Turrican. I can always press F12 and that pulls up the underlying Amiberry. So I don't know the buttons for this Time Gal. I'm gonna reboot. Just like that, we're right back to PiMiga. We do have some current software. If I click this Firefox icon, this brings up a Firefox from Debian Linux. So you can have full, current Firefox. You also have the Amiga web software, the older legacy stuff. At any time, you can just press F12 and click Reset, and that'll quickly reset the PiMiga. Down here in the taskbar, we have other Amiga software. We have Winamp. Oh, we can't play these because I'll have to stop those. There's also a mod playing software. Oops, I have to close this one down. I don't know how. There we go. Here's Hoffman's Ghetto.
So be it. You remember that, motherfucker? Because I'm the one y'all need to be worried about.
So you've got all your Amiga music. There we go. I want to bring up iGame and iDemo, as those are both really cool. We'll check out iGame first. Now, iGame is pretty cool because it's a huge collection of games. Not as large as those Doom and Quake ones. These are just the older, I don't know if it's only Workbench 1.3. I was not an Amiga guy, but it looks like the smaller games. But you can always press F10 to get out if you get in any trouble in any of these. So let's try to find a couple. Alien Breed, I've heard that, right? Alien Breed. Let's load that up. So you get this little screen right here. You can enable joypad support, unlimited lives, all sorts of stuff. And it tells you there, press F10 to quit. Yeah. So I don't have a joypad and I don't see the controls. The mouse click worked, but I don't know the controls. Okay. My arrows do work. But you know, you'd have to, a lot of people know all these Amiga games, and I don't. But they are all here, man. I don't even know how to shoot. Yeah, I don't know how to shoot. So here's Alien Breed, and as stated, you can just press F10, and that gets you right out. And then you can select more games. All right, let's get this Joy-Con working. So I'm plugging in a Super Nintendo USB Joy-Con, and let me give a quick shutdown to the system, and I'm gonna reboot. Water, fire, wind, PiMiga. All right, with that booted, let's press F12 to bring up the Amiberry menu. Let's go to Input. We'll go to the Port 1 dropdown, and we're going to use this retro controller, I think. Yeah, retro controller. That's what I have plugged in, and I can resume. Now I'll go right back into iGame. Let's try to find some Zool or some Speedball 2. Let me check for that. I know Speedball 2 is a banger. We have 4,200 games available. Prince of Persia I saw. All right, we're getting there. Here's Speedball 2. Look at that. I know this is a killer Amiga game. Is it an AGP game? I'm not sure. It lets us IBM DOS guys really get into an Amiga system. I think our joypad is working. Yeah, I got my joypad working. Boom! Now it's a lot easier. All right, let me try to do a knockout. See, I don't know how these power-ups all work at all. Okay.
Get ready.
All right, let's go! Uh-oh. Oh, no! There you go. Go, go, go! Get it! No. This was a killer game. Come on! Oh! They got us! Alright, I'll F10 out of that. Let's see if Bubble Bobble was on here. And here's Bubble Bobble. They've really got you covered. All the Amiga software you'd ever want. From title games to all these small ones. More than 4,000 games. There we go. If you don't know, I like this one. Oh. Come on. I need one. No, no, no. Darn it. They got you covered with Bubble Bobble, baby. Woo! So yeah, for games, they've got us rocking and rolling. So I'm going to exit out of iGame. Some of my favorite stuff was the demo scene stuff. So I'm going to click on iDemo. And while I showed you some of the more larger demos over here on the partition in demos here, these are going to be a lot of your scene stuff, a lot of your BBS stuff, a lot of your Zines. You know, these Amiga boys, this time period was when I was in North America and I was big into IBM DOS. And they really had it going on, man. They had multitasking. Their demo scene guys arguably gave us a run for our money. And PiMiga 4 really covers it great, man. I want to try to find a couple Zines. I'm just going to go dig through. Let's check out one of these BBS intros. Atomic. Oh yeah. Hacker style. With the grid. It's a little more than a scroller, huh, boys? Well, give me the number. I want to dial in. Woo! Yeah. There we go. +4702693336. Support it, baby. Call the best new BBS in Norway. So you can even find BBS tros, crack tros. Let me try to find a couple Zines here. That's another E-Zine. We can turn the music on and off with this one. Disc back services. Back in the day, you could trade, and I don't know about this. Says if you don't own a modem and you're not as happy as the rest of us, you can still get Scene Talk by using our disc back service. I'm sure you mailed them a disc and you got a disc back with the E-Zine for that month. Announcing the Saturn Party 3, April of '95. Oh, and then it's delayed. Here we have some of our ASCII. Man, the kids were having all the parties back then. Oh, Toxic was kicked from Aramation. And here's the Mystic member list from April of '95. Kill Raven leading up the crew. He's an Ami X coder. He's a co-sysop. Woo! Price of software. Why software costs so much? I spent 6 months writing this, and I'll sell thousands of copies and become a millionaire! So this group was explaining why software for our beloved Amiga costs so much, while everybody had Xcopy and was doing their thing. Look at that though, it says, then it's back to the hotel to add up the results. Sales, 10 copies, 340 cash. Expenses, 160 in brochures, $100 plane ticket, $60 motel, $100 for the booth, blah, blah, blah. All totaled $470. You only lost $130 on the trip just trying to sell your software. There's a lot of great history in all of these different applications, demos, programs, games, and other things that you can find on PiMiga 4. Here's some sound stuff. We can load Sound Attacks Volume 3. Oh yeah. Now I like that one. That was Sound Attacks Volume 3. I think you can favorite them somehow. Uh-oh, right there, baby. Favorite. Boom! And now I'll have that forever over here in the Favorites tab somewhere. Right here. Bang. Oh, here's maybe some of Chris's favorites. Let's check it out. Oh, State of the Art. That was my very favorite demo, and we are gonna rock it right now. State of the Art. Let's get it, TechHeart. Woo! This was one of my favorites. I even saw this somehow over on the IBM PC scene. All right, let's kill it. That was state of the art, rock stars. Boom! Let's go into either system or work. I'm gonna go to work. There was a terminal software. Is it this? Oh yeah, cool. So the little monitor in the taskbar is an Amiga terminal software. I don't know if you right click and you go to phone and phone book. We're gonna select Atlantic Data Images, which is Chris's BBS that I think he's had running since back in the day, and it's still running. So we're connected. Now this is like a Workbench 1.3 app, so kind of doesn't fill our screen, but that's all right. Okay, he tells us his hard drives might have to spin up because he's running on a real hardware. We're on an Amiga, so I'll select Amiga Graphics. We'll get in. And this is Chris Edwards' BBS. Ooh, and I have new mail. I'm not going to read it now because I sent some questions and info about PiMiga 4 last time, so I don't want to read his message. We can get some info about the system. It's powered by an Amiga 2000, 2 modems, and a Telnet line. 3.2 gigs of Quantum Fireball ATA 3 SCSIs, baby. And it's still running CNET Pro. So anyway, you can log on to Retro Bulletin Board Systems. Goodbye. Do you want to ditch out? Yeah, I want to ditch out. All right, and there we go. We log off of Chris's board, Atlantis. And so anyway, there's terminal software. You can log on to BBSes. So you've got all your Amiga software you could ever want, guys. It is in here, but boy, I wanted to share it with you guys. And I'm really having a blast with PiMiga 4. You know what? Will you guys go out? I might have a little bit more fun with iDemo and check out some more of Chris's favorites. Because I tell you what, I love it. All right, TechHeart out.